In the early 1500s, the Catholic Church ruled Europe, both spiritually and politically. To challenge it was not only dangerous, it was nearly unthinkable. But one man dared to speak up, a monk, a scholar. His name was Martin Luther, and his defiance would change the world. It began in Wittenberg, Germany. On October 31st, 1517, Martin Luther nailed a document to the door of the castle church. It was called the 95 Theses. In it, he criticized the sale of indulgences, certificates that claimed to forgive sins in exchange for money. Luther wasn't trying to break away from the church. He wanted to reform it from within. But his words struck a nerve, and they spread like wildfire. Within months, Luther's ideas reached across Europe. The printing press gave wings to his writings, but not everyone welcomed his message. Pope Leo X saw Luther as a dangerous heretic. In 1520, the Pope issued a papal bull, a formal decree, ordering Luther to recant 41 of his 95 Theses. The message was clear: obey or be excommunicated. Luther's response? He didn't just reject the Pope's authority, he publicly burned the papal bull in front of a crowd. It was an act of religious rebellion, unheard of in that time. Luther declared that only Scripture, not the Church, was the final authority in matters of faith. To him, salvation could not be bought or sold. It was a gift, not a transaction. In 1521, Luther was summoned before the Holy Roman Emperor at the Diet of Worms. It was his chance to save himself, if he would only take back his words. But Luther stood firm. In front of kings, bishops, and nobles, he declared, "Unless I am convinced by Scripture and sound reason, I cannot and will not recant. Here I stand. I can do no other. God help me." His fate was sealed. He was declared a heretic, and his writings were banned. Shortly after, Luther was officially excommunicated. In the medieval world, excommunication meant spiritual death. It was meant to silence him forever. But it had the opposite effect. Free from Rome's authority, Luther translated the Bible into German, making it accessible to the common people. He wrote, preached, and sparked a movement that couldn't be stopped. Martin Luther's stand against the Church triggered the Protestant Reformation. Entire nations broke from Rome. Schools, churches, and governments reformed. He didn't set out to divide Christianity, but his defiance forever altered its course. Today, Martin Luther is remembered not just as a theologian, but as a symbol of courage and conviction. A man who stood alone against an empire and refused to be silent. What about you? What would you do if the most powerful force in the world demanded your silence?